All right, let's talk the Bills. That one blindsided me.
Did it? Because I remember a really smart bearded man last week describing exactly
it was all fear.
Was it fear? Was it justified fear? Was it not? What did I say? I said my irrational fear on this show is that the crowd would show up, Josh Allen would be jumping, and he was going to airmail balls. He airmailed 2 guaranteed touchdown passes, one to Emmanuel Sanders and one to Stephon Diggs. And don't get me wrong, man. I'm not jumping on this the season is over thing. In fact, if you look at the numbers between the game that the Bills won against the Pittsburgh Steelers last season in primetime and the game that the Bills lost opening day, it is eerie how similar the numbers are for Josh Allen passing, for Ben Roethlisberger passing, the way the defense is played. The only difference between those 2 games is the big play potential. Taron Johnson, pick 6, return, helps the Bills win the game. That block punt, how in the NFL is there a block punt for a touchdown? That's the only difference. I mean, I'm fine with it. Everything's going to be just fine. The Steelers' defense is a tough matchup, but I told you so.
Listen, the excitement in the team when the Isaiah McKenzie. When Isaiah McKenzie runs it back, goes back to 25-yard line, I'm thinking to myself, you got to get 7 here. You got to get 6 here, got to get 7 here, whatever you got to do. From that moment on, they go backwards. They result in the field goal. And I said, for the Steelers, you know full well, Mike Tomlin is a team that's a grinding team. Let's work this out. Let's keep this close. Let's keep this close. They did exactly that. No points in the third quarter, 81 yards, 8 penalties for the Buffalo Bills. That's all self-inflicted.
No, absolutely. But what's promising about that is, despite the fact that you played one of your worst offensive games ever, despite the fact that Levi Wallace, playing as a second corner, was getting essentially abused all day by Ben Roethlisberger, taking penalties in heaven, you only lost by 6. And that 6 points was a block punt in the end zone. You didn't lose offensively. In fact, you could argue you played a better defensive game against the Steelers Sunday than you did last season. Look, it ain't always going to work. I am a tad concerned about some of the play calling in the second half. I know it's hard to get something going when you're taking all the penalties that they were taking, sustained drives, but you have a quarterback that's 6'5" and 250 pounds who was born to jump over an offensive line for a yard, and you throw the ball backwards 4 yards to Matt Breida. You took the ball out of your greatest playmaker's hand to hand it to your third running back / special teams ace to get a first down in a drive that mattered on a 4th and 1. I'm done rambling. I'm sorry.
Okay, so look ahead. We'll go here. 3.5 is the line. At Miami, the Bills are favored. How do you see it?
I want him to spit up his water. 10. Buffalo
really
by
don't
10.
want to see that.
Yes, I do. I do want to see it. I want it to happen right here on the show. The Buffalo Bills will win by 10. You want to know why? Because they're just going to throw the ball all over the field. They have no running game. That's just the way they play. It will be a dogfight every single week for the Buffalo Bills. So, why not by 10?
They do have a running game. Devin Singletary, 6.5 yards a carry, 75 yards on 11.
Then why did you give it to him more?
I don't know. That's a great question. Which questions again? Look, there was a drive towards the end of the game where they're headed towards the end zone. They ended up settling for a field goal. He was getting chunks of yardage. They went away from the run again.
Yeah, why?
It's the running. It's the coaching. It's not the actual running game.
Time talking about the running game and their lack of it.
Because
I think
it doesn't.
Any other aspect.
It would have helped against a team like that. Maybe your defense would have rested and not scored and get scored on so much.
No,
in the
but
second
both
half.
defenses were going back and forth. And again, even in the second half, what did you gave up 16 points, which is not unreasonable for an NFL team and a half in the NFL. I don't think that says the defense collapsed. Again, it's the punt. To answer your question, I apologize. Sword! The Bills win. They cover. They ain't doing 10. I will say this. I'm not worried right now. The Bills are still Super Bowl contenders. If you go down to Miami, it is a divisional game. You are playing a rival. It is hot. If something happens in this game where you do not win and you, not convincingly, but it's a game that looks like they're winning front to finish, I'm scared. I'm very scared. Do it this week. Make me feel better. Everybody has a bad day. We're all going to be okay. But if they don't do what they have to do on Sunday, I'm going to dig a hole and hide under my house.
So you had Pittsburgh covering last week?
No, I had. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, so you got the one right. We were on the wrong side. We're all on board this week. I got them by 6.